Chapter 827. I'm thinking about the relationship between them, Baya said softly. Gu Lingqing glanced at her softly, his eyes full of love and tenderness. Worry and effort can make a country prosper, but idleness can make a country perish. If a country doesn't have internal and external troubles, its leaders won't work hard. They'll live comfortably all day without thinking about making progress. So it's not a bad thing that Big Brother has encountered this, right? Baya said. Yeah, Gu Lingqing replied. It's the same with relationships. They need to go through experiences to consolidate it and become indestructible in the future. Lu Shuang and Shen Yan will separate if they don't go through the experiences. Even if they don't go through the experiences, they will still be separated because of various reasons in the future. But if they go through the experiences, their relationship will be consolidated, and they will cherish and understand each other in the future. Even parents can't control relationships, let alone friends. Most of the time, it's their own decision to give them some advice. That's all we can do. Gu Lingqing knew that Baya still couldn't let it go, so she comforted her. I understand the theory. From a woman's point of view, I feel sorry for Shen Yan. He must really like cool girls, Baya sighed. What's important is Lu Shuang's feelings. Soon, they arrived at the military area. What do you want to eat tomorrow morning? I'll cook it. You still have to practice boxing in the morning. You don't have to work so hard. There's everything in the canteen. I'll ask someone to send breakfast over tomorrow. I want to eat braised pork and Christian carp soup for lunch. Shosho wants stewed eggs. The rest is up to you. Gu Lingqing said seriously. Baya had adapted to his way of talking. Have you had dinner? Gu Lingqing didn't say anything. Baya noticed something was wrong. You haven't had dinner yet. I want to finish some work before I eat, Gu Lingqing explained. That's not good. You have to eat on time, or your stomach will be hungry. Your health is the most important thing. When you go back, eat first, then work. Sleep before 12 o'clock. You need to sleep for 6 hours. Yes. The corners of Gu Lingqing's mouth raised slightly. It felt good to be nagged like this. They were like an old married couple. The days passed in a plain and real way. The idle job that Gu Lingqing arranged for her was really idle. Unless the situation was very bad, people in country A would not easily go to see a psychiatrist. Therefore, she stayed there for the whole afternoon and did not come. In the middle of the night, Gu Lingqing called. He got up to pick it up, and Baya was also woken up by the noise. Something must have happened for him to call so late at night. She also got up, opened the door, and went outside, looking at Gu Lingqing worriedly. He hung up the phone and said to Baya, Shen Yan has been rescued. He is now in the base, where I was treated before. He wants to see you. Should I go there now? Baya asked. She didn't remember where the medical place Gu Lingqing mentioned was. I'll go with you. Wait for me for half an hour. I'll make the arrangements. Remember to wear more clothes. It's cold at night, Gu Lingqing said and went out to make the call. Baya's mind was blank. She didn't tell Shen Yan about Lu Shuang's marriage. She really didn't know how to bring it up. However, she had to face it eventually. Half an hour later, Gu Lingqing arranged a car, and Zhang Xingyu drove. It will take about 2 hours to get there. You can sleep a little longer, Gu Lingqing said softly. Baya leaned on Gu Lingqing's shoulder and closed her eyes. However, she couldn't sleep. Her mind was a little messy, and she had a bad feeling. Lingqing, do you think Shen Yan will hate fate if he knows that Lu Shuang is married? Baya asked. Let nature take its course. We just need to do what we should do. Then do our best to protect Shen Yan. After all, he took the risk for us, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Yes. Baya thought. She should also do something. She couldn't put all the pressure on Gu Lingqing. Yesterday, Gu Lingqing went to bed at 12 o'clock. It was only 3 o'clock now. He only slept for 3 hours. Lingqing, I'm not sleepy. I go to bed early. Now there are 6 hours. It's enough. You sleep for a while. I'll wake you up when we arrive. Baya stood up and said. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything. He closed his eyes. Baya's imagination ran wild. 2 hours later, they entered the base. Gu Lingqing also woke up and opened his eyes. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing and smiled. Gu Lingqing held Baya's hand. Since we're here, let's take things as they come. Yes. After entering the base, Gu Lingqing was waiting. Under Zhang Xingyu's lead, Baya met Shiniyan. He was waiting anxiously, but it could be seen that he was in a good mood. Even his smile was bright. As soon as they met, he asked, "Where's Lu Shuang? You have her contact, right?" Baya nodded. She wanted to say something but stopped. If she said it, she was really worried that Shiniyan wouldn't be able to take it. Shiniyan noticed something strange from her expression. "What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that?" "Shiniyan, there's something. Lu Shuang, she's married." Baya finally said it. Shiniyan's smile froze. He stared at Baya. His gaze gradually became cold, but he still had 1% of hope. He asked again, "Is what you said true?" "She's married to Jiang Yi," Baya said again. Shiniyan's gaze turned cold, but he still accepted it. He staggered 2 steps back. His eyes were flickering with hesitation, confusion, and disbelief. The current him was completely different from the elegant and calm person he was when he was locked up. What could crush a person was not the environment, but the state of mind. Many people could go against the current. The worse the environment, the harder they worked. But if their state of mind collapsed, they would be like a patient with depression. They couldn't see what they had and what they had more than others. They would only think that tomorrow wouldn't be better. Moreover, they wouldn't listen to anyone's advice. "I think she has her reasons," Baya added and comforted him. Shiniyan looked at Baya slowly. Her face was pale, and her eyes were bloodshot. Even in her pupils, there was something fermenting. "You have her phone number, right?" "Yes, I'll call her now. You can tell her personally." Baya still hoped that Shiniyan could be with Lu Shuang. She took out her phone and dialed Lu Shuang's number. "I'm sorry, the number you have dialed does not exist." The cold voice of the machine came from the phone. Baya looked at the number again. She made sure that it was the number she had talked to on the phone before and dialed it again. "I'm sorry, the number you have dialed does not exist." The cold voice of the machine was still on the other end of the phone. Baya couldn't stay calm anymore. What was Lu Shuang doing? He didn't even want to contact her? He even went missing without a word of explanation. Chapter 828. Shiniyan looked at Baya's face, behavior, and expression. His eyes were deep and dark. She has turned off her phone. Baya looked at Shiniyan. She didn't want Shiniyan to misunderstand Lu Shuang, so she explained. "She has always been immature, but she was very happy to know that you were released. You were able to get out this time because of her help. She saved you and disappeared immediately, which proves that this matter is unusual." Shiniyan sneered and turned his face away. His whole face was hidden in the darkness. Baya knew that he was angry and very angry. He was so angry that he didn't even want to say anything. According to her years of psychological research, Shiniyan's micromovement showed that he had his own opinion, and he was unwavering. Therefore, he wouldn't listen to others' persuasion. Maybe he would feel better after he calmed down. "Are you hungry? Why don't you eat something first?" Baya changed the topic. Shiniyan looked at Baya, but his thoughts were still on Lu Shuang. He asked in a deep voice, "Do you have a way to contact her?" Baya fixed her eyes on Shiniyan. Many complicated thoughts flashed through her mind. Even though she was a psychologist, she didn't know what to do. She hoped that Shiniyan and Lu Shuang could be together. However, Shiniyan's current state was not normal. He had a destructive hatred and anger. She was also worried that Lu Shuang would be hurt. Shuangniu had no choice. "You must give her a chance to explain," Baya said. "I will give her a chance to explain," Shiniyan promised. "Tell me where she is." "No matter what happens, you can't hurt her," Baya continued. "No matter what happens, I won't hurt her," Shiniyan said in a deep voice, staring at Baya coldly. "I'll ask Lingqing. Lingqing's people should be following Lu Shuang. With the help of the third eye, it shouldn't be difficult to find her. I'll give you the address when I get it." Shiniyan closed her eyes. "I want to be alone for a while." Baya turned around and walked out, closing the door for Shiniyan. Gu Lingqing walked over and looked at her worriedly. "Are you all right? I'm afraid it's not a small matter." Lu Shuang designed his phone to be an empty number. Not to mention Sheniyan. Even I am very angry. Do you have Lu Shuang's address? Baya asked. My people are following her, and the third eye is also following her 24/7. It's easy to find her. But Xiaoya, have you thought it through? Are you going to tell Sheniyan about Lu Shuang's whereabouts? Gu Lingqing asked in a deep voice. I think Lu Shuang owes Sheniyan an explanation. After all, Sheniyan lost everything because of her, and she was even pulled down from the position of president. Her name will be recorded in history. I think Sheniyan doesn't deserve it, and I'm also very angry. I don't understand why Lu Shuang would do this. If she doesn't like Sheniyan anymore and finds happiness again, I also hope that she will be open and honest. I'm very angry that she doesn't deserve Sheniyan, so she should be completely eliminated from Sheniyan's world instead of making others confused. Baya said angrily. Since you've decided, I'll give you what you want. Wait for me for 5 minutes, and I'll give you her current address. Also, Country D is Sheniyan's minefield. He doesn't want to appear in Country D, so if Sheniyan wants to go to Country D to find Lu Shuang, think twice, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. I can't even think about it now, let alone the person involved, Sheniyan. She actually turned her phone into an empty number. What does that mean? This kind of behavior is really annoying and depressing. Even I want to question her. Baya sighed. She knew that she was impulsive, but she was very angry now, and what she said was not rational. I'll be quiet too, Baya said. Follow me, Gu Lingqing said. Baya followed Gu Lingqing, got in the car, and went to the lawn. The sky was already white. The air in the morning in November was very humid and cool, but also fresh. Baya took a deep breath and saw a wooden house on the edge of the woods. That place is where we used to live. You can sit there for a while. I'll ask for Lu Shuang's whereabouts and tell you her address, Gu Lingqing said softly. Okay. Baya replied. She walked towards the wooden house. If she got up too early in the morning, her brain would lack oxygen, and it would also cause her thinking to be slow. She had to think about it carefully. There were 2 rooms in the wooden house. In one room, there was a bed, a chair, and an LCD screen hanging on the wall. In the other room, there was a big table, 4 benches, and 2 rocking chairs. There were also some toys piled up in a box in the corner. This was the place where she, Gu Lingqing, and Shosho used to live. She felt a sense of familiarity. Gu Lingqing's gestures flashed in her mind, and her heart suddenly ached. She shook her head. Don't let your imagination run wild. The most important thing now was Lu Shuang. After calming down, she thought about Lu Shuang's previous behavior. If Lu Shuang really had no feelings for Sheniyan, he would not have asked his current husband to save his ex-boyfriend. Besides, if she was magnanimous, she would not have disappeared. She must have had her own difficulties that she could not explain, and she could not face Sheniyan. That was why she hid. According to Lu Shuang's character, he was a bold person who had a clear distinction between love and hate. She wanted to find out the reason so that she could help Lu Shuang. She could not be a bystander and be angry at Lu Shuang's behavior. After all, she was the only one who could help Lu Shuang. Gu Lingqing pushed the door open and entered. Baya looked at him worriedly. Have you found her? Gu Lingqing nodded and passed a piece of paper to Baya. She lives with Jiang Yi. They have a 6-month-old baby girl. Baya's mind went blank for a long time. 6 months old? Are you sure it's Lu Shuang and Jiang Yi's? On the surface, it's their child. We haven't done a DNA test yet. Crazy. Is Lu Shuang crazy? Can you arrange a DNA test? Baya did not believe that the child was Lu Shuang and Jiang Yi's. Okay. I think I should go to Country D first. For safety, I will bring Lu Shuang to England. Sheniyan will also go to England to let them meet, Baya said thoughtfully. I will go with you, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Will it be dangerous if you go? Baya was worried. I will arrange it properly. It will be more dangerous if you go alone, Gu Lingqing said with certainty. Baya nodded. She felt more at ease with Gu Lingqing by her side. I will tell Sheniyan my idea first. You can ask someone to do a DNA test. If everything goes well, the DNA report will be out tomorrow, Gu Lingqing said. Okay. Baya went back. As the investigation went on, one incident after another came out. It added a stone to her heavy heart and made her feel suffocated. Chapter 829. Baya entered Shen Yian's room. He immediately stood up and looked deeply at Baya, waiting for Baya to speak. I've already found Lu Shuang's address, but it's not convenient for you to go to Country D. I'll make a trip there and bring Lu Shuang to England. You can go to England too and you can meet him, Baya suggested. Shen Yan curled her lips and said sinisterly, she's hysterical because she wants to hide from me. She won't be willing to go to England with you and you're soft-hearted. In the end, nothing will happen. Give me the address and I'll settle this myself. But it's too dangerous for you to go to Country D. If Jiang Yi catches you, he can even kill you on the spot because you don't have an identity and are currently invisible, Baya said worriedly. If that's the case, I deserve it, Shen Yan said firmly. If you don't tell me where she is, I'll go to Country D to look for her myself. Baya took a deep breath and passed Lu Shuang's address to Shen Yan. Lu Shuang has a 6-month-old daughter. We still have to do a DNA test to see if it's her daughter. I'll tell you when the results of the paternity test are out. So don't be rash. Shen Yan sneered. There's no deep love in the first place. It's normal for her to fall in love with someone else. What I want is for her to tell me personally that if she doesn't like me anymore, I'll give up on her completely. Don't worry, I won't cause any trouble, and I won't embarrass her. This is the last explanation for my feelings. Baya really felt that Shen Yan was a good person. It was just that Lu Shuang didn't cherish her. Since things had come to this, he could only let nature take its course. I'll go to Country D with you this afternoon, so that we can look after each other, Baya said. No, you've helped me a lot. I still remember the kindness you and Gu Lingqing have done for me. Even though you knew that Lu Shuang was married, you still insisted on saving me. I admire your magnanimity and freedom. I owe you my life. I'll promise you one request in the future, no matter what it is, Shen Yan said firmly. What if the request is for you not to go against Xingbuhua? Baya asked directly. Shen Yan raised the corner of her mouth slightly. I can do whatever you want, but there's only one thing. You don't have to rush to tell me. Baya's heart skipped a beat. Shen Yan was too secretive. She had a bad feeling about this. Tell Gu Lingqing to come in. I have something to tell him, Shen Yan said again. Baya hesitated for a moment before he went out. Gu Lingqing guarded at the door and looked at her pitifully. If she was unhappy, he would be unhappy as well. He asked you to come in, Baya said. Wait for me in the next room. There's a bed there. You can rest if you're tired, Gu Lingqing said softly and moved her hair behind her ear. She looked haggard. Because she didn't sleep well, she had dark circles under her eyes. Baya nodded and went to the next room. Gu Lingqing went in to see Shen Yan. Shen Yan turned to face Gu Lingqing. I knew you wouldn't die so easily. Gu Lingqing gave a simple response. He was not good with words to begin with. The relationship between him and Shen Yan was very subtle. Shen Yan's father killed his parents' family. His brother took away Shen Yan's position, and he saved Shen Yan. It was hard to tell if they were enemies or friends. What do you want me to do? Gu Lingqing asked directly. Shen Yan didn't want to make small talk. His expression turned serious. Send me to Country D later. Don't let Baya get involved. She won't be able to solve the problem, and will only add to your troubles. You've finally been together with her, and you've gone through so many hardships. Don't cause trouble for yourself. Gu Lingqing looked at Shen Yan deeply and lowered his eyes. Many thoughts were hidden in the waves in his mind. I won't send you away personally. You know better than me how important it is. But I've arranged for someone to send you out later. My person will bring you to him. I understand. It's enough for you to do this. Then arrange for me to go now, Shen Yan said decisively. Follow me. Gu Lingqing turned around and walked out. Shen Yan followed behind Gu Lingqing. Baya waited for Gu Lingqing to come. She felt more and more uneasy. She walked out of the room and looked at the room next door. She stood guard at the door. As time passed, she saw Gu Lingqing coming from the corridor. She ran over in surprise. You're out. I sent Shen Yan away. Baya opened her eyes wide. Is he going to Country D? I want to go too. I want to see Lu Shuang before Shiniyan. Xiaoya, let them solve their own problems. If you go, it will make things more complicated, Gu Lingqing suggested. I'm worried. How about this? My man is in Country D. I'll ask him to report to me in real time if anything happens, Gu Lingqing suggested. Baiya looked down. She couldn't solve any problems if she went to Country D. The human heart was the most difficult thing to control. Don't try to change others, because you can't change them. She nodded. Let's go back now, Gu Lingqing said. Okay, Baiya replied and left with Gu Lingqing. In the car they didn't speak. Baiya wanted to sleep but couldn't. She closed her eyes in a daze. 2 hours later, the car arrived at the entrance of the military area. Baiya opened her eyes and looked at her watch. It was almost 8 o'clock. She asked Gu Lingqing, "Are you going to a meeting later?" "Yes, I'll go after breakfast. Sleep a little more and don't think too much. At this time, Shiniyan hasn't boarded the plane yet. It's useless to think too much," Gu Lingqing comforted her. "I know." Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing with heartache. He didn't sleep for a few hours yesterday and had a meeting today. She didn't want him to worry. They went back to the villa. After breakfast, Gu Lingqing left. Baiya played with Shosho at the playground in the backyard. Her phone rang. She saw that it was Lu Shuang and quickly picked it up. "Xiaoya, you called me?" Lu Shuang asked. "Your phone number is not in service. Do you know that?" Baiya asked angrily. "I know. I set it up like this. Has Shiniyan been rescued?" Lu Shuang asked with concern. "He has been rescued." "It's good that he has been rescued. That's good. Oh yes, tell him not to come to Country D." Baiya pursed her lips and didn't say anything. She didn't want to tell Lu Shuang that Shiniyan had come. She suspected that Lu Shuang called her to test her. "He can't be here, right?" Lu Shuang guessed. Baiya took a deep breath. "Where are you staying now?" I can't tell you now. Give me some time." "How many days will I give you?" Baiya pressed. "Xiao Bai, my child is crying. I'll tell you later," Lu Shuang said and quickly hung up. Baiya clenched her teeth and called Lu Shuang. "I'm sorry. The number you have dialed is not in service." It was the cold voice of the machine again. Baiya put her phone away and put it on the windowsill. Now she could only wait. Chapter 830. Madam. Xiao Xia came over and smiled. "The ingredients you ordered are here. When do you want to cook?" Baiya looked at the time. It was already 10:20 a.m. She should be cooking. "I'll do it now. Look after Shosho." "Oh right. Madam, the flowers and seeds are here. I've placed them on the square table. It's best to plant them as soon as possible. Otherwise they'll wilt easily," Xiao Xia reminded her. "Okay. Thank you." Baiya went back. When she reached the courtyard, Song Shiyu came back. She smiled when she saw Baiya. "Where's Shosho? I miss him." "Mom, you're back. Shosho is playing in the backyard." "Okay. I'll go see him first. I'll cook later." Song Shiyu was in a good mood. "Mom, you must be tired after a long business trip. Let me cook today. Go and see Shosho. Shosho should be very happy to see Grandma back. He even asked about her before," Baiya said with a smile. "Really? I bought a gift for Shosho. He should like it. It's a car that he can drive. I'll give it to him first. He'll be able to eat your food later. Just thinking about it makes me happy. I ate steak and hamburgers every day in America. I'm about to throw up. I'll go and cook first. It'll be quick," Baiya said. She saw the soldiers carrying the car down. It was an electric car and a motorbike. Shosho should like it when he sees it. "Thank you, Mom." "Haha, you're welcome." Song Shiyu went to the backyard happily. She saw Shosho playing with a ball. "Shosho, Grandma is back." Shosho looked at Song Shiyu and pointed at Song Shiyu. "Grandma, Grandma." Song Shiyu carried Shosho and kissed Shosho's face. "Let's go. Grandma bought you a gift. Let's go and see it." "Present." Shosho learned a new phrase. "Yes, a gift." Song Shiyu brought Shosho to see the car. Shosho's eyes lit up when he saw the car. Car. Song Shiyu put Shosho in the car. Regardless of whether Shosho understood or not, she said, This is the switch, and this is the steering wheel. You can control the steering wheel to adjust the direction. This is the reverse, which can also be directly operated by remote control. Shosho, drive by yourself first. Grandma will control it with the remote control when you turn. Shosho's dark eyes glanced at Songshiyu, seemingly confused. Songshiyu drove the first gear, and Shosho's car started to move. She followed the car to protect Shosho. When the car turned, she didn't need to press the remote control. Shosho held the steering wheel and turned by himself. Shosho is so smart. He can drive without anyone teaching him. Songshiyu praised. Shosho was indeed smart. He learned to drive by himself. He even knew how to honk the horn, turn on the lights, and play music. He was having a lot of fun. When Baya came out of the steamed white fish, braised pork, tomatoes, shredded carrots, and Christian carp tofu soup, Shosho was still playing with the car. Songshiyu immediately said to Baya proudly, Shosho is so smart. He can drive by himself without any teaching. Yes, he likes cars. When he grows up, he will be sent to a car factory to study cars. Baya said with a smile. Songshiyu smiled lovingly. Mom, I'm going to plant the flowers. Baya said. Okay. Songshiyu still looked at Shosho with a smile. Baya took the flowers to the side of the forest. Her face darkened. At this time, Shenian shouldn't have arrived in Country D. She didn't know what was going on between them. Madam, is there something on your mind? Lin Shulan came over to help and asked worriedly. Huh? Is it that obvious? Baya smiled awkwardly. You dug the hole. You didn't put flowers or seeds. Lin Shulan reminded. Oh. Baya put the flowers in again. Shulan, let me ask you a question. For example, if you and A love each other and A goes to jail, will you fall in love with B and start a new life? I don't know. There are too many variables in life. Maybe after being alone for a long time, you will be touched by others. I used to know a girl who studied photography. When she was in university, she had a boyfriend. When she brought her boyfriend home, her family was against them being together because the man's family was poor. She eloped with the boy, and the two of them went to another city. They opened a photography studio, but they didn't make any money. Instead, they suffered losses. At that time, the boy was caught stealing in order to be with her. She had no relatives in that city, so she returned to her hometown. Under her parents' introduction, she went on a blind date and got married. She found a man who was a few years older than her and gave birth to a boy. Her husband was a debauchee, but she loved him to death. I don't understand. Only she does. Everyone says she's a bitch. She works hard to earn money for her husband, but her husband doesn't see her all day. He doesn't understand. Lin Shulan sighed. Love is like drinking water. Only you know if it's hot or cold. Maybe I'm too rational, and rational love isn't true love. I think I should let go of my obsession. Baya sighed. Madam, didn't you want to leave the chief? He had no choice but to leave. You know that he was seriously ill, and he didn't want you to take the risk. He would rather sacrifice himself than you. Lin Shulan said anxiously. Baya wasn't talking about her and Gu Lingqing. But after hearing what Lin Shulan said, it seemed that Lin Shulan understood it very well. Do you know why I left that year? Baya asked. Lin Shulan nodded with red eyes. I know. Madam kept trying to persuade you. You made up your mind, so Madam could only agree. You were angry. Angry that the chief left without saying goodbye. But the chief didn't want you to take the risk. Baya listened quietly. There was a sour feeling in her heart. Why would I take the risk? How sick was he? He was very sick. He kept bleeding. He might not live for more than a month. Madam found a research institute overseas and wanted to use a biochemical weapon to lure them out to save the chief. Madam had been researching the antidote for the biochemical weapon for a long time. When the people there found out, they would definitely come back to deal with Madam. So the chief left, Lin Shulan explained. Baya vaguely understood. Her eyes became misty. She mumbled. I wasn't angry. I was in despair. I thought that he would definitely die. I didn't have the strength to bear that burden. So, I chose to hypnotize him. If I didn't hypnotize him and forget all these, I wouldn't have been able to live. Ha. Lin Shulan looked at Baya in shock. Hypnosis? Memory loss? Baya took a deep breath. She didn't say anything else and continued planting flowers. Lin Shulan looked at the calm Baya. No wonder she felt that Madame was different from before. It turned out that she had forgotten the past. She had forgotten everything. She didn't have so many burdens. She didn't seem so heavy. Madame and the chief are both good people. They will definitely be happy for the rest of their lives, Lin Shulan said. All I can do is try my best to make myself happy, Baya said with determination. Madam, the chief is back. Xiao Xia came over to call Baya for dinner. Baya put down her hoe and immediately walked towards the house. Chapter 831. Gu Lingqing saw Baya running over and slightly raised the corner of his mouth. Baya was relieved when she saw him smiling. She smiled too. Mom is back. She bought a car and a motorcycle for Shosho. Shosho is so happy. I saw it. Are you planting flowers? I will accompany you after dinner. Gu Lingqing held her hand. Baya wanted to pull her hand out and reminded him. My hand is dirty. It's okay. I need to wash my hands too. Gu Lingqing held her hand tightly and went to the bathroom. He turned on the tap and washed Baya's hands first. Her heart was full of tenderness. Gu Lingqing, I know why I hypnotized myself. I don't regret hypnotizing myself. If it wasn't for the hypnosis, I wouldn't have been able to get through a day without you. Gu Lingqing paused and looked at Baya. I don't know if I can find them when they left. If they are dead, I won't let you know. You have to promise me that you will live well. Baya smiled. I thought a lot just now. Maybe Lu Shuang really fell in love with Jiang Yi. Maybe he doesn't love her now, but he will love her in the future. It's hard to say in the future. I am an outsider. I can only wish her well, but I can't control her. Well, if God wants them to be together, they will be together. If God wants them to be separated, it will be hard for them to be together. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. His eyes were red. He almost lost her and almost couldn't stay by her side. Being heartless doesn't mean that life is hard. Being in love may be the root of pain. Life is unpredictable. Let's be together. Baya nodded and changed the topic. Your land application has been approved. I want to ask the designer to see how to plan it tomorrow. Gu's has a special department in charge of real estate. I will ask the person in charge to contact you. You can discuss with him. There are many steps to do and many connections to be sorted out. Although it is from the military, if it is not done well, people will criticize it. Gu Lingqing reminded him. I will try my best. How about I contact him in the afternoon? Well, that's fine. You can tell him your idea, and he will make a plan according to your idea. When you are satisfied, he will let the construction team start the construction. As for the building materials, Gus has long-term cooperation with them. What you need to do is to understand the soldiers' thoughts and family situations, and solve the employment problems for their families reasonably. I know what to do. Baya was deep in thought. There were many ideas in his mind. It's going to take you forever to wash your hands. Let's eat, Song Shiyu teased. Baya blushed and went to eat. I haven't had the fish soup made by Xiaoya for a long time. It's so delicious, Song Shiyu exclaimed. Xiao Xia fed the fish soup to Shosho, and Shosho danced happily while eating. When he saw Baya looking at her, he even made faces to make Baya laugh. I have nothing to do this weekend. Let's go fishing in the manor, Gu Lingqing said to Baya. Okay. The fish in that lake are the most delicious. They are all wild fish, Song Shiyu said on behalf of Baya. Gu Lingqing's phone rang. He looked at the caller ID and answered with a serious face. Tonight? Well, at 6 o'clock. My child goes to bed early. What's wrong? Are you going out tonight? Baya asked. Not going out. Leng Shuang wants to come over tonight to catch up. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya's confused face and explained. He used to be the leader of the shadow. After I left, he took over the military region. Now he is the vice president, in charge of agriculture and education. Will it be inconvenient for us to be here? It's not inconvenient. I can probably guess what he wants to say to me. Let's eat first. We'll talk about these things at night. Gu Lingqing picked up the meat from the belly of the fish and put it into Bai Ye's bowl. Bai Ye turned to pick up the meat for Shosho and smiled at Gu Lingqing. She felt that if she gave birth to a daughter, Shosho's position in the family would be even more precarious. Even so, there was still a faint sweetness lingering in her heart. After dinner, Gu Lingqing accompanied her to plant flowers. After it was done, they went to take a lunch break together. Gu Lingqing was really tired. He fell asleep the moment he touched the bed. Bai Ye lay on her side and looked at his handsome face. He was so tired, but he didn't say anything. He accompanied her to plant flowers. Gu Lingqing was a man of action. Thinking of the things he did silently, she felt warm in her heart. Maybe one day, she would suddenly remember everything. But no matter what he did wrong in the past which made her unhappy, she would forgive him. In a daze, Bai Ye fell asleep. When she woke up, Gu Lingqing was no longer by her side. He had gone to another meeting. She got up and came out. Shosho was driving again. Song Shiyu saw Bai Ye and said with a smile, Lingqing said that when you wake up, he asked me to call Zhang Zhongda and ask him to contact you. Sorry to trouble you, Mom. It's no trouble at all. I can't wait for you to take over the management of the real estate industry. I don't have so much energy. In the past 2 years, besides finishing the projects that I haven't finished before, I haven't developed any new projects. Bai Ye nodded. I guess they will have endless work to do in the future. But this is a huge sum of money. Lingqing and I are going to reward some soldiers. Will it exceed the budget to bring the soldiers' families here? Gu still has the money. Part of it will be used for finance, part for public welfare, and part for business development. Building a family compound for the military is also counted as public welfare. Moreover, Gu's supermarket and shopping center will come in, which is also a part of the profit. Don't worry and do it boldly. If the money is not enough, I will tell you, Song Shiyu encouraged. Okay. Bai Ye just returned to the living room. Soon Zhang Zhongda called. After a few greetings, Gu Lingqing had already asked him to start designing the plan. He promised to finish the design within half a month. It was not easy to do any project. Although it was said to be half a month, it would probably take 2 months to complete after some modifications. There would be all kinds of problems in the future. Zhang Zhongda was in charge of the project. She was mainly responsible for the soldiers' families and the employment of their families. After she was done, she played with Shosho. She suddenly thought of Lu Shuang. Had Shen Yan arrived in Country D? Country D. Lu Shuang took his daughter for a walk. His head was lowered and his eyes were drooping. He sighed with a heavy heart. He looked up and saw Shen Yan walking towards him. Under the setting sun, he was dyed red. He walked in the afterglow as if he was in a dream. She thought she was seeing things. It was impossible for Shen Yan to appear in Country D now. He looked exactly the same as 2 years ago. His appearance had not changed at all. He was handsome and had stunning features. While she was in a daze, he walked in front of her and looked down at her adorable face. His eyes slowly fell on the little girl in the cart. Chapter 832. His eyes suddenly became cold and secretive. He stared at Lu Shuang with hidden turbulence and asked coldly, You and Jiang Ye's child? No, I picked him up. After Lu Shuang replied, she suddenly realized that she was not in a dream. She looked at Shen Yan in shock. You. Why did you come back here? Shen Yan narrowed her eyes. You don't want me to come here? Lu Shuang turned around immediately. Shen Yan grabbed her arm. She was so strong that Lu Shuang could not break free. She shouted anxiously, Jiang Yi, Jiang Yi. Shen Yan looked at her coldly. She looked like a lecher who had been molested by a playboy, and was calling for her husband to save her. He covered Lu Shuang's lips and pulled her to the tree next to them. You want Jiang Yi to catch me? Lu Shuang stopped talking and looked at him. Shen Yan looked at her like a little rabbit. She was guarded, afraid, but helpless. Even if the spring breeze swept away the fallen leaves, the leaves would fall mercilessly into the ravine. I'll leave after asking a few questions, Shen Yan said coldly. Lu Shuang nodded. Shen Yan let go of her hand and looked at her eyes. Did you marry Jiang Yi willingly? He takes good care of me and helps me a lot. I feel at ease when I'm with him, and I don't need to worry. I can live the life I want. The corners of Shen Yi's mouth curled up, but his eyes became even redder. You think I can't give you these, right? Lu Shuang clenched her fists slowly and her eyes became misty. She did not say anything. Do you like him? Shen Yin asked. Lu Shuang pursed her lips and did not look at Shen Yin. She closed her eyes and said, I like him. Like, what about you? Shen Yin lifted her chin and made her look into his eyes. Do you like me? Lu Shuang's body was shaking, and his eyes were misty. He clenched his fists tightly. She liked him. She liked him very much. She liked him so much that even if she died, she didn't care. She just hoped that he could live. Their child could live. As long as he was alive. She wanted him to sit on the top again. She didn't care even if she died and went to hell. However, she could not say these words. If she did, he would definitely die. What happened in the past is in the past. I'm already married, so there's no point talking about it anymore. But if you really want an answer, I used to like him, but now, I want to start over, Lu Shuang said. What do you mean by starting over? Do you want to start afresh with me, or do you want me to stop disturbing your life? Shen Yin asked. She couldn't say anything too cruel. But if she didn't say it, she would kill him and their child. Shen Yin, I'm sorry. What I want is not sorry. Shen Yin let go of her hand and looked at her sadly. That look made Lu Shuang's heart ache. It was the first time she saw Shen Yin looking at him with such a sad look. Even when he fell from the horse, he was still smiling. She didn't want to cry, but tears flowed down her cheeks. She was afraid that if she stayed for another second, she would say everything. I'm sorry, Lu Shuang said. She ran towards the road and pushed the child away. As if there was a demon behind her, she didn't even dare to look back. Shen Yin also stood on the spot. Her eyes were locked on Lu Shuang. He didn't move until she left. His heart and brain seemed to be experiencing a raging wave. The waves were hitting every inch of his cells. He still looked handsome on the surface, but his body was already full of holes. It was as if his soul had been pulled out of his body. For a moment, he didn't have a sense of belonging and didn't know where to go. He didn't have such a feeling even when he was pulled down from the horse. 6 black cars drove over from the 2 roads. The smell of death was approaching. Shen Yin looked to the right. The car stopped. Jiang Xingyu got out of the car. His men quickly surrounded the surroundings. Shen Yin chuckled. She wasn't afraid at all. She looked at Jiang Xingyu coldly. She didn't run and was calm. Jiang Xingyu walked towards Shen Yin. How dare you? When Lu Shuang said that you were here, I didn't believe him. You really came. Lu Shuang said that? Shen Yin narrowed her eyes. She was afraid because of you. Shen Yin, do you believe in karma and retribution? Back then my sister was pestering you. You didn't want her, so she committed suicide. Now you're pestering Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang betrayed you. You'll die here too. Ha 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 ha. Jiang Xingyu laughed sinisterly. It wasn't my heartlessness that forced your sister to die. It was your indecent love. Jiang Xingyu, you made her feel hopeless. That's why she committed suicide, Shen Yin said faintly. Jiang Xingyu's face turned green. You're talking nonsense. I only love my sister as a brother. There's no dirty love between a man and a woman. If you can face your own feelings, maybe your sister can still stay by your side. It's your hatred for yourself and your sister that gave her a fatal blow. Has your sister seen her diary? Shen Yin asked calmly. Jiang Xingyu's eyes flickered, as if he was suppressing something. He became angrier. Don't try to scare me. I won't believe you. No matter what you say, I won't let you go. Jiang Xingyu took the gun and aimed it at Shen Yin. Shen Yin didn't move. She locked her eyes on Jiang Xingyu. She was deep and reserved. She seemed like a spectator watching a show, above reality. Jiang Xingyu was about to shoot when an infrared ray appeared on his forehead. He frowned and saw that everyone else had infrared rays on their foreheads as well. Your men are lying in ambush nearby, waiting for me to walk into the trap. I didn't plan to kill you in the first place, so why would I set up an ambush for you? You'll understand everything after seeing your sister's life. Stop pestering me. Your sister doesn't like me, she likes you. Shen Yan said with a smirk. Jiang Xingyu was even more shocked. He stared at Shen Yan. His chest was heaving up and down and he pursed his lips. A Maybach drove over and stopped in front of Shen Yan. The person inside opened the window and said in a deep voice, "Get in." Shen Yan opened the door and got in the car. The car drove to a secret private airport. Shen Yan looked in front and guessed, "You guys are Gu Lingqing's men? The chief ordered us to protect your safety." "Gu Lingqing," Shen Yan murmured. "I owe you my life again. Where are you sending me?" "The chief ordered us to send you to the airport and to Switzerland. You have a manor, an estate, and a new name, Shenqing. I appreciate Gu Lingqing's kindness. Later, you guys put me down by the side. I'll solve my own problems. You guys go back and report. Running away is not the way to solve my problems. Taking back everything that belongs to me is the right way," Shen Yan said with certainty. Chapter 833. I'm sorry. We need to ask for instructions from the chief. Please wait a moment. Let me call Gu Lingqing, Shen Yan said. He took out the phone that Gu Lingqing had given him and made a call. "Gu Lingqing, it's me, Shen Yan. Do you know what happened?" Shen Yan asked in a deep voice. "Yes." Gu Lingqing replied. Sky Eye and his men followed Shen Yan around the clock. Of course they knew everything. "I will remember your help. But that's all. You don't have to make arrangements for me. I will go alone," Shen Yan said with certainty. "It's too dangerous for you to stay in Country D. The most dangerous place is the most dangerous. Country D is also the place where most of my men are hiding." Gu Lingqing was silent for 3 seconds and said in a deep voice, "I will ask someone to give you 10 million. Contact me if there is any danger or emergency. My men will stay in Country D for the time being." "Huh." Shen Yan smiled. "Thank you. I don't need the money. I still have more than 1 billion. Find a secret place to put me down." "You really don't need my men to protect you? Jiang Xingyu won't let you go easily. It will be extremely difficult for him to find me. You don't have to interfere in my business anymore. That's all. I'm hanging up. Tell your men to put me down by the roadside. Also, I wish you and Baiya happiness forever." Shen Yan curled up the corner of his mouth. There was a scar hidden in his eyes. He absorbed all the light and became as dark as an abyss. "Got it." Gu Lingqing didn't force him. He called them and asked them to put Shen Yan down. Baiya looked at him worriedly and waited for Gu Lingqing to continue. He looked at Baiya and sighed. "Shen Yan wants to solve his own business. We don't have to interfere. I'm worried that he'll be in danger, and I'm also worried that he'll hurt Lu Shuang. It's so contradictory. Now we say that Lu Shuang told Jiang Xingyu his whereabouts. The person who hurt him first was Lu Shuang. Xiaoya, if we get involved, it will make things more complicated. Unless Lu Shuang asks for help, we shouldn't do anything. When things reach an extreme, they will move in the opposite direction," Gu Lingqing reminded. She understood that she had no right to interfere in other people's affairs, nor could she change it. It was good for them to become strangers. She just hoped that they would not hurt each other. She sent a message to Lu Shuang. "You still have me. Whenever you call me, I'll appear in front of you." 3 minutes later, she received a message from Lu Shuang. "Thank you." Gu Lingqing held Baiya's shoulders and pulled her into his arms. He didn't say anything, but there was a warm feeling in her heart. It was so good to have Gu Lingqing by her side. The days passed by one after another. Every day was dull, busy, and fulfilling. Baiya used 3 years to build the Green New City, Spring Garden District, Water Swamp Garden District, Guilin Garden District, and Qingyuan District. Each district had 28 buildings, and they were all 24+1 stories. There were 2 to 4 families on each floor, and they were selectively arranged for the families of the soldiers. Besides, she also opened a school, a hospital, a shopping mall, a restaurant, and a processing plant with thousands of employees. Teachers, doctors, salespeople, chefs, waiters, and other employees were mostly the families of the soldiers. There was also a welfare home for the elderly. The construction was still going on. Gu Lingqing became the morale of the military. All the soldiers were proud to join Gu Lingqing's military district. Moreover, Gu Lingqing became the idol of many teenagers and was recorded in many international newspapers. Critics from all walks of life had different opinions. Some felt that Gu Lingqing was a successful politician and military strategist at the right time. And some thought that if Gu Lingqing wasn't from a rich family, he wouldn't have achieved so much. Was it to encourage the leaders to make money and benefit the people? Some even thought that Gu Lingqing wanted to become the president. It was Sima Yi who was ambitious. However, no matter what the outside world said, it didn't affect Gu Lingqing's family. The Gu family was rich, very rich. They wanted to help others as much as they could in their limited time. Their first target was the righteous, hot-blooded, and brave soldiers in the military district. In order to protect the country, it was inevitable that soldiers would miss their families. The construction of the military family compound was to take care of their families, so that they wouldn't have to worry about anything on the front line. It was also to encourage more people to love the country and have hope. Other than spiritual wealth, there was also a real goal to strive for. This was also to encourage more rich people to participate in patriotism and love for others. The National Parliament also officially agreed to build the Southern Suburb C. The Southern Suburb C covered an area of 1,620 square kilometers. It belonged to the country and was a special administrative region. Baya was the chief of the special administrative region. There were independent departments in the special administrative region. Simply put, the military, finance, students, environment, land resources, planning, and so on were all independent. This year, Baya decided to build Xiangshueyua High. This area was built on the seaside and was for sale to the public. The premise of living in this area was a sponsorship of 10 million yuan, and the sale price was 100,000 yuan per square meter. On Tuesday, the Special Administrative Region had an essential meeting. There were reports from all the relevant departments. Last week, excluding the sponsors, the total profit was 256 million yuan. I have sent the detailed report to your email, the finance minister reported. Baya sent the report to the finance minister in a notebook. This Xiangshueyua High project was launched 3 weeks ago, and more than 100 people had come to consult us. 6 people had sponsored us, and the remaining 26 people are interested. They want to have security guards and enjoy an independent and safe space. The director of the Investment Promotion Office said, "This project is still in its testing phase, and there will be lots of questions. You must sort out their thoughts and write a proposal to satisfy their needs before they will come in. I want this area to be the most affluent district." Baya said, "Yes, sir." The director of the Investment Promotion Office replied, "I have prepared the proposal according to your instructions, but there is a problem. Nowadays, young people are either fixed in the relevant jobs, or they are still young and not many of them are studying professional courses in university. Some courses only have 1 or 2 applicants," the Minister of Education said. "After our students graduate, we will send them to the relevant industries. After all, they are the children of soldiers. If there are too few applicants in certain industries, we can only recruit from outside." Baya thought for a while and said, "If we recruit from outside, there will definitely be a lot of the most outstanding talents who will try their best to squeeze into our school. After all, once they come in, they will have houses allocated to them, and their children won't have to worry about jobs in the future. All kinds of security are the best," the Minister of Education said with a smile. "If there is only 1 or 2 applicants, I suggest we combine the classes and let the form teachers bring the students to the relevant departments for practical training. After that, we will give priority to the technical staff to teach the practical classes. We want practical skills and not armchair strategists," Baya suggested. "Okay." The head of the Education Ministry wrote down this suggestion. P.S. Actually, this is the end of the main article. Next, we will write about Gu Lingqing and Baya's happy life, Lu Shuang, and Shen Yian's affairs. After we finish writing about them, we will choose Xing Buhua, Alan Sujiran, Xiao Xian, Xiao Yan, and Shou to write about. Chapter 834. In terms of environmental protection, this week's air quality inspection results are in line with good standards. We will also build protective walls and forests around the area, greening the residential area. Water purification is also effective and will continue to be maintained. Also, we will build a sky garden at the height of a 6-story building to absorb dust and release oxygen and negative ions. Baya nodded. After the meeting, have a small meeting with the planning department. Before building the houses, we will do the greening so that there won't be any pollution. Okay, the head nurse replied. In terms of people's livelihood, according to the results of the previous discussion, increase the education fund and maternity fund. There will be no changes to the pension fund. 99% of the vegetables will come from organic farms. Currently, the clothing and medicine will be purchased from outside. I suggest that we start the clothing and medicine projects as well. The medicine project can be started, and we will join the research institute. However, the clothing project will cause pollution, so we won't consider it for now, Baya said decisively. If the clothing is handmade, will it be more environmentally friendly? Also, we can build our brand and market it to increase our revenue. The chief of the Livelihood Bureau said. We can consider this method. Make a detailed proposal for me to take a look. There's another problem. Regarding the allocation of housing, some people have a second child or even a second child in 3 years. Some people even brought their parents and brothers-in-law over. That will cause the problem of not having enough housing. They want another house. If it's approved, others will follow suit and apply for a house. If it's not approved, it won't be easy for them to live in the same house. Baya stopped writing and looked at the chief of the Livelihood Bureau. Why would there be such a problem? When we allocated the houses, we only allowed parents and minors who needed to be taken care of. They feel that the environment here is good and there are many job opportunities. Their children go to school and the jobs are all allocated. So they brought in their relatives. Families have family rules and a country has national rules. To benefit the people, we can't just take everything. Otherwise, we won't be grateful and will only feel that it's natural. We will become selfish and disrupt the order. I remember that when they moved in, they had to change their ID information. If their ID information is in the southern suburb C, they will be granted permanent residency. As for the others, they can only visit their relatives for a month at most. I'll have to trouble you, Chief Zhang, Baya said as he looked at the chief of the police bureau. Okay, I will strengthen the management, establish immigration procedures, strengthen patrols, visit every family and issue documents to all employers. Chief Zhang reported. For those who are already here, we will open a 1-month family visit period to give them time to prepare. As for the issue of 1 or 2 children, we have already increased the maternity fund. In the future, there will be many more communities built. Some will be arranged by the military, and some will be purchased by family members. We will discuss it when the time comes, Baya said. Chief Zhang received the order. A meeting lasted for more than 3 hours. After every key department reported, there would be a subordinate giving a detailed report. Baya noted down the problem and concluded it. She left it for them to continue researching the topic next week. What she needed to see next week was the solution. Unless she really couldn't solve it, she would bring it out and discuss it again. When she came out of the meeting room, Lin Shulan came to her and handed Baya the red date and white fungus soup he made in the morning. Madam, thank you for your hard work. Baya smiled and looked at Lin Shulan's belly. You're 8 months pregnant, right? Don't do these things. Rest at home and wait for the birth. It's good for your body. Have you applied for a place in the confinement center? I will let them know and ask them to arrange the best for you. I'm strong and healthy. It's okay. I can give birth. Lu Sheng is also an orphan. He has been on duty in the general's mansion. There is no one at home. I might as well follow madam. Lin Shulan put away the cup and said, You reminded me. After you give birth, you can take a few months of maternity leave. Give Lu Sheng a few months of maternity leave. Let him take good care of you and the child. Baya got into the car. There's no need. I will be in the confinement center for 2 months. There will be someone to take care of me and the child. With a husband by your side, your state of mind and mood will have a different effect on the child. How many times can it happen in a lifetime? Just listen to me. After you rest for a few months, you can bring the child to work. Shosho has gone to school. My mother-in-law loves children. She will be very happy if you bring the child to work. After all, you are my mother-in-law's goddaughter. Baya smiled and said. Lin Shulan nodded. When Baya returned to the general's mansion, Song Shiyu had prepared lunch. She smiled and said, Xiaoxia and I were just discussing who would come back first, you or Lingqing. Xiaoxia, you're here. As soon as Baya turned her head, she saw the chubby Xiaoxia. Xiaoxia stood up respectfully. Madam, long time no see. You look better and better. You are a happy woman. Baya smiled and looked around. You didn't bring little Xingxing here? Grandma is taking care of little Xingxing now. How are you doing working in the hospital? Are you in trouble? Baya saw the clues in her eyes and asked speculatively. Xiaoxia lowered her head in embarrassment. I was lucky to have followed the chief's wife from the start. Hence, when the southern suburb C was established, I went to the hospital to take a high position. However, my intelligence and emotional quotient were not up to the task. Naturally, I was tired and felt even more inferior. Hence, I wanted to continue serving Madam, the old lady and young master. Lin Shulan had a strange expression on her face. After all, she had always been the one taking care of Madam. Now that she was pregnant, she would be going home to give birth soon. Madam and Madam naturally needed someone to take care of them. If it was someone else, she wouldn't have minded. She had been by Madam's side for so many years. Not just anyone could sway her. But Xiaoxia was different. Xiaoxia had been by Madam's side for many years. In terms of time, she had been by Madam's side for many years. She was worried that when she came back, Madam would value Xiaoxia more. If you come here to work, what about Zhang Xingyu? He needs you to take care of him too, Lin Shulan said. Xingyu is very busy at the company. He comes back very late every day. Also, he comes to the general's residence to report on his work every day. I can still see him at the general's residence. I go back at night, Xiaoxia explained. You mean you come to work during the day? Shosho has to go to school during the day and only comes back at night. So what's your role? Lin Shulan asked directly. Xiaoxia was speechless. Her eyes were filled with distress and confusion. She lowered her head and her heart was heavy. Chapter 835. Baya smiled. It seems that the work in the hospital is giving you a lot of pressure. You feel embarrassed and have no place to stand. You don't know how to do other jobs and it's a little boring to stay at home and take care of the child. The best way is to come back to my place. You can still see Zhang Xingyu. If everything goes well, you can also take care of little Xingxing during the day, right? Xiaoxia felt even more embarrassed after being exposed by Baya. On second thought, Baya was a top psychologist. Her thoughts couldn't escape Baya's eyes. She simply said, That's what I think. Sometimes old Madam has to go on a business trip and Madam has to work. The chief is even busier. At least I can cook and clean up. Okay, stay here. Bring little Xingxing over. After Shulan gives birth, she will also bring the child over. It'll be lively and we'll take care of each other. I'll make arrangements to get 2 houses next to the general's residence. One house will be for Zhang Xingyu and Xiaoxia, and the other house will be for Shulan and Zhangsheng. That way we can take care of the family. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam. Xiaoxia and Lin Shulan looked at each other and lowered their heads. Baya smiled. She knew what they were thinking. It was good that the problem was solved. You must be hungry. Come and eat, Song Shiyu said with a smile. Baya called Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing didn't answer the phone. Instead, she replied with a message. I'm still in a meeting. You can eat first. Don't wait for me. Baya put away the phone. Before eating, she took the dog food and went to the small forest on the side of the wall. There used to be only one doghouse in the small forest. Now that it had been remodeled, the doghouse was expanded into a building with 5 entrances. It was also a building with 2 floors. Little White married a wife. In the first year, they gave birth to 2 puppies. In the second year, they gave birth to 2 more puppies. In the third year, they gave birth to 4 puppies. For some special reason, other than Little White, the other male dogs were all sterilized and the female puppies were all given away. Therefore, there were 5 dogs in this dog villa. However, According to the speed at which Little White was giving birth, the dog villa would not be able to accommodate her soon. Song Shiyu suggested for Xiao Bai to undergo a vasectomy, but Bai Ye didn't agree. It wasn't suitable for Xiao Bai to have a wife, and it wasn't like they couldn't afford it. When she was free training Little White, and the rest became a pleasure for her. After feeding them, Bai Ye would go and wash her hands. I think Xiao Bai's wife is pregnant again. This time, her belly is super big. There might be more than 4, Song Shiyu said. Bai Ye cried and laughed. Then, I'm going to get a room now. I'll give Xiao Bai an hour to meet his wife every day. When the puppies are strong enough, I'll let them go out to reunite with their family. Hee, in another 10 years Xiao Bai's sons will be huge. He'll be the happiest dog. Oh right, are you and Lingqing going to have another child? Not before the age of 35, and not after that either. It's very dangerous for pregnant women at such an advanced age, Song Shiyu said. Lingqing wants a daughter, but I've been too busy recently. There are many new projects in the southern suburbs, and I have to ensure that nothing goes wrong. After I'm done with my work, I'll actively prepare for pregnancy. I'll get pregnant this year and give birth next year, Bai Ye said. Song Shiyu was happy. She loved children. It's good to give birth to a tender little girl. Whether it's like you or Lingqing, the child will look good. I hope it's a girl. I already have 2 sons, Bai Ye said embarrassedly. After dinner Bai Ye went back to her room for an afternoon nap. When she woke up, Gu Lingqing was standing at the head of the bed and looking at her thoughtfully. Bai Ye sat up in confusion. What's the matter? Gu Lingqing also sat by the bed. She wanted to say something but stopped. Bai Ye smiled. You know I'll be more anxious if you don't say it. Gu Lingqing hesitated. In the end she did not say it. Instead, she changed the topic. Mom said that you're going to have a child? Bai Ye laughed. So it's about that. I want to have another child before the age of 35. After that, even if I want to, I won't have the energy to do it. Gu Lingqing smiled. I've always wanted to give you a wedding. Because of Lu Shuang's matter. You said that we'll put it aside for now. Let's have a wedding this May. A wedding is just a formality. No matter how luxurious a wedding is, it can still be unfortunate. One can also be happy without a wedding. Let's wait a little longer, Bai Ye said. She lowered her head. I wonder how Lu Shuang is doing? No news is good news. You've been sending her messages for the past 3 years. Didn't she not reply to any of them? Gu Lingqing said. Her gaze was deep. She was worried that Bai Ye would discover something or ask something. If she asked, he would definitely tell her. Mom said that young Madam Bai is pregnant again. I don't have anything else to do today. Shall we go and make a kennel together? Gu Lingqing asked. Yes. Let's go. Bai Ye got up happily. After brushing her teeth and washing up, she went to the storeroom to get a hammer, a wooden block, and a piece of wood. They went to the side of the house. Gu Lingqing fixed the outline of the kennel first. It was also a 2-story kennel. Bai Ye had followed him to make a kennel before, so she knew how to make the outline. She made the same one as Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing put the 2 together and fixed them. After they were fixed, they painted the walls and the top floor. The next day, when the paint was dry, they wrapped the house and the side of the house in a circle of unused quilts to keep it warm. The new villa had just been completed, and there were already puppies moving in. Bai Ye looked at the happy and harmonious family. She felt warm in her heart, especially when she smelled the fragrance of the dishes coming from the kitchen. This feeling was like her soul had returned to the harbor that she could rely on. She didn't want to wander around anymore. However, what she didn't know was that everything she had now was the result of his protection in the past. He had given her the southern suburb sea of her dreams. Here, any of her dreams could be realized, and her dreams could grow wings. Perhaps she would be a little busy, but she had no time to care about the bloody storm outside. Her eyes were filled with the beautiful scenery of the beautiful weather. Country D, there were too many things that could change in 3 years. Life, old age, sickness, death, sorrow, joy, separation, and reunion. The rise of a new star, the fall of a chaebol, the establishment of an organization, and the destruction of another organization. One was getting stronger, and the other was getting weaker and weaker. Shen Yan stood by the window and looked at the endless darkness outside. The lights couldn't hide the vastness of the darkness. Now he had changed his name. He was no longer Shen Yan, but Shen Chen. He owned the largest chaebol group in Country X. He was also the real boss behind the biggest chaebol group in Country D. Now the president of Country D was supported by him. Even the vice president of Country D was his man. He had become the real decision-maker behind the scenes in Country D. Mr. Shen, a lady named Lu Shuang wants to see you. Shen Yichen's subordinate reported respectfully. Shen Yichen curled his lips and took a sip of red wine. He said coldly, "Let her in." You're tuning in to the Echoes of the Heart YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.